to you across the waters, to the one who is meant to find this. My name is Ammon Murrana, and I have made a grave mistake that cost me the life of my crew. But I am getting ahead of myself. Allow me to start from the beginning. The year was 090 ATC, 11 days into Golden Light, and hopefully that date has not yet gone too far into a world I would no longer recognise, if my release came at all. I dabbled as the ship's mage and cartographer, that ship being called the Bailey. And what a beautiful ship she was, one I'd come to love and respect quite much. Its captain, not so much. The man enjoyed the sound of his own voice a little more than a man should, yet I cannot deny the respect the crew had for him. Nor shall I try to deny them of that respect with my own inner thoughts and comments that could lean more towards rudeness or insult. So I kept my tongue the whole way. It was my job to see us safely through the Serpent Sea, and I did my job well. Because of me, we avoided nearly all threats along the way and made it to the harbour of White Whale, nearly unscathed, but for a few minor dings along her port side and a fair collection of barnacles along her hull we would scrape off in port. Our jobs were simple, or so we thought. That was when the captain's weakness came to fruition and cost us the coin and work we so desperately needed. His mouth worked its way into insults so disastrous, I am baffled that the man in which he spoke to in such a way allowed him to walk away, unblackened and unblued. So there we were, now anchored off the shore after being politely asked to leave. No more access to the stores of grains and salted meats and spices and spirits the coastal town could provide. So it would now seem we would return empty-handed. By now, however, is when my own weakness had revealed itself. Every night before sleep took me, I allowed myself to gaze into the face of that weakness, and every moment, where chance would allow, during work hours, I would open the locket that still held the image of that weakness, the one that would cause me to make such a horrible mistake, and which would lead to disaster and leave me stranded and alone, the only survivor. I needed to see my home again, my love. The sickness they warned me about before setting sail had gripped me tight and would never, ever let go. It was a shortcut, I had told the captain and his first mate, one that would lead us home with ever more haste. The captain was cautious, maybe a bit suspicious, wondering why I had not spoken of such a path before. I lied. I had not noticed till now. I blamed work, and weather, and winds that were against us. It was the sea serpent's mating season. Whatever I needed to speak with a forked tongue, I did, so to work and change the minds of the others. And change they did. Night had befallen when the mistake finally revealed itself. In the form of a great thing of shadows and dripping flesh emerged from the dark salty waters below. It rose in a coil, ready to strike, and strike it did. The front of the ship was gone with a loud crunch that caused us to heave and spill forward into the drink. Before I went under, I could hear the hiss and growl of the beast as it swallowed the few stray swimmers whole. I think it avoided me because I was clung to the upper side of the Bailey's debris. But more likely, the serpent was full on my crew. I woke on a sandy shore, isolated from the rest of the world, one in which barely held the sustenance I needed to survive, one also with trees, but not enough to craft a reliable escape. I did not have the luck of a fisherman, and although I could catch the slowest of the crabs before they darted under the soaked salty sands, it was not enough. I could feel my strength going. So there I was. Well, here I am, writing these words on a piece of paper, the last page in my journal, the one I am pouring my desperation and myself into, using a rather obscure spell I learned from a friend, one I never thought I could possibly or would possibly use before I reached the same age of that friend. Yet here it is. the happening of it with each word I weakly scribble down. Into the ink I will pour my physical form, wave it into the words that dry by the gentle winds that caress my tiny island, that I have now named Ammon's Agony. When I cork the empty bottle of rum, I shall cast the spell, sealing myself within the paper, within the bottle. I shall float for a length of time only the gods shall know, hopefully finding land, hopefully reaching the lips of someone who can speak my language, speak the words of my release, Ulum Sol, and hopefully I will not sink under into the dark deep of the sea, and the remainder of my time being infinite and lost forever. So I ask you, I speak to you across the waters. Will you consider the release of such a man as I? Or will you sentence me to another kind of release? One that only flame could give. Either way, I seek only freedom. I wish not to be trapped in a prison of ink and paper and glass. I wish to see the face of my beloved, if she yet still lives. So what say you? What fate will you grant me? Hey guys, this is Lucas, the creator of Adam's Lost Journal. This is my first interactive story where you get to decide in the comments the fate of Ammon. Will you speak the words, Ulum Sol, and free him from his prison? Or do you burn the page, consigning him to the ashes of memory?